Hi, hello everybody. So, a lot of people have been waiting for a response on NetEase, or even see if there would be a response by NetEase, talking about the situation with the Eclipse leaderboard. Because, I mean, obviously, when it came to my take on the whole issue, is that it was an issue with how it was set up and with how the leaderboards are run. So, obviously, it was outside of our own hands, regardless of who may or may not even be at fault. So, NetEase has actually given us a little bit of a dev blog post, which isn't super common for us to see. However, it is something that they do every so often, and it was something very important to talk about. So if we take a look here on the server for Destiny Rising, which I've got right here, okay, we have the Eclipse event concluding blog, okay? So to start out, it says, Dear Lightbearers, Destiny Rising's first Gauntlet Onslaught has successfully concluded. We want to extend our thanks to all for your enthusiastic participation. As our first attempt at something so many Destiny 2 players hold special, we are grateful that you all enjoyed the experience. We will continuously learn from player feedback, strive to improve what we've built, and present to you more refined experience for future contents to come. And then they talk about the results. Obviously, we know the world's first teams. We've known about that for a while. And the 3-day leaderboard rush concludes. So total hours played, 64,877 hours, equivalent to 2,703 days or 7 years across all the people who played during the leaderboard rush. And I assume it's only counting the amount of time spent in the raid whatsoever. Total members, number of times light faded, so that's the total amount of wipes, 1,600,047 and 789 wipes. Total number of times players got revived by their teammates, 1,153,283. And total number? Wait, so the light faded isn't a wipe? Oh, I guess that means like if they got like put on the ground. So the total number of wipes is 527,947. So the North American server had the fastest clear time total. Europe and Middle East had 12 minutes 44 seconds. Latin America had 13 minutes 37 seconds. And APAC had 14 minutes 56 seconds. And the total top 100 teams reward collection, 515, 494, 458, and 297. Only 76 teams made the leaderboard into the top 100 in the APAC server. That is actually kind of wild. So I guess, so reward collection, does this mean like 515 emblems were claimed by players on North America? So with this stat, it's actually kind of crazy to me. So this means that out of all the servers, the North America server actually got the most amount of teams with like emblem clears, like the least amount of repeat teams. So that is kind of wild. Also, I'm surprised to see that the Latin American server was much more active than the Asia server. I guess the game's pretty unpopular there. Well, maybe not unpopular, but it's not popular there. All right, and now we get to their statement. They're addressing the situation. Okay, they say, we've heard your feedback about players joining multiple speedrun teams, and we want to address your concerns with complete sincerity. Our aim was to make room for the shorter play sessions often seen in mobile gaming, with Gauntlet Onslaught activity requiring longer playtimes and life's unpredictable nature sometimes pulling teams members away. We didn't want to prevent player teams from refreshing their best scores, and thus initially decided against restricting players in a single speedrun team. This decision led to unintended situations, such as some repeated entries in the top 100, and we apologize for any disappointment this has caused. As part of our ongoing effort to enhance these events going forward, we are considering potential improvements, like using individual leaderboards for reward distribution and shortening the competition period. We have many new and competitive contents coming up around the corner, and we will implement our new changes to those events to strive for a more balanced experience. Your voice is important to us, and we are inviting you to share your thoughts on how we can make events like these more inclusive. We will soon be launching a feedback portal where you can submit your insights, feedbacks, and suggestions. Thank you for your patience, understanding, and continued support. The Destiny Rising team. Okay. What this tells me is that they're not doing anything for the current leaderboard situation, but they will be trying to do stuff like trying to make better leaderboards in the future. So obviously it does really suck that they're not doing anything about the current situation, especially because this is the very first event. But you could also say that this is the very first event. We could give them a little bit more slack. Of course, it absolutely sucks to be one of those 85 players in the North Americas, 108 players in the EU and Middle East, and another 142 in the Latin American server. Now, APAC, there weren't actually any teams that were pushed out because not even 100 teams completed. So that, I guess nobody in APAC lost out, but definitely in NA and EU, there were a good amount of players who got pushed out and had their essentially chances to get the emblem revoked. NA was definitely the most competitive. NA had the most amount of teams, like individual teams clearing. So NA actually got hit by this issue the least out of all the servers. I mean, technically APAC got hit by the least because not even 100 teams completed it, so every single player who participated got the emblem. So APAC technically got it the least, got hurt the least, but NA, from the teams that were affected by it, definitely was affected by it the least. EU got affected by it a little bit more, and Latin America, I heard that Latin America was also kind of like APAC, where it didn't have a large amount of teams clearing, but it does look like there were more than 100. All I'm learning is that as an APAC player, you should try to compete next time. Yeah, I think it's so lame that they're not going to give emblems to the 85. I think it's really lame too. I feel like they could very, very easily like make some concessions, especially because they've already admitted that the current leaderboard was not working and they're going to be changing in the future. Like, they definitely should be giving out some concessions to the amount of players, because they already know the amount of players that were affected by it. It's like, they've got it tallied up, they got all the leaderboard exits, they've got the API, they can make that change. Okay, and we also don't know if they have decided or not. Like, they didn't say that they weren't. Okay, they didn't say that they weren't, but they also didn't say that they would for this event. So based off this response, do you think that they'll give teams 101 and so on the emblem? We obviously can't tell. If APAC is dying player count wise, do you think they will be more attentive to the demands from the average Destiny player regarding the reward changes? Potentially. Well, the thing is, I'm pretty sure the Asia Pacific does not include CN. Usually when it comes to games like this, they have a very separate environment for CN. Like, you can't join the CN servers for Wuthering Waves if you're global. At least that's what I believe, because usually it has to do with, like, internet laws in Asia, or in China specifically, why that happens. So I definitely feel like this is, it's definitely good that they're planning on them for future, but it's also definitely kind of an L that they haven't made any statements about this, like about doing anything for the current leaderboards, because that's what people are upset about. I mean, people can obviously rest well knowing that future leaderboards should be improved. And of course, this is going to put like an extra emphasis that leaderboards in the future should not have the same issue. It is a huge shame that they didn't make any statements about doing anything about the teams that got pushed out due to repeat teams. I really, really hope that they make an effort to make concessions for those players, even if it takes them like a week or two, just like get them their emblems. But obviously it's out of our hands, and they did say that they are going to be making improvements in the future. It definitely sucks for all those involved, and my sympathy towards you all. I mean, this is not going to be a F you, I got mine situation. I definitely think that you all should have gotten your emblems. But, of course, it's all out of our hands, and blaming players, especially like the top teams who had to make choices like that, who had to make team swaps, will not get you anywhere, and it's just going to make the community a worse place. So if there's anybody who holds the responsibility and holds the power to, like, get you guys your emblems that you deserve, it's NetEase. And we can only like hope and obviously give them feedback that they should make concessions, especially for this leaderboard. But that's about all I have to say on this topic. Thank you all so much for watching. If you're interested in keeping up to date with all things related to Destiny Rising, including news, guides, and more in the future, be sure to subscribe to my channel. And I'm also looking at other games coming out like Ananta and Duet Night Abyss. So if you're excited for those games, then, you know, be sure to subscribe and join my server as well, because I will definitely be looking forward to them much more than you are. I guarantee you, I am looking forward to it more than you are. Okay, leave your thoughts in the comments down below. I mean, if you are a player who was affected by this, like if you were one of those 85 in the ANA server, or however many of the other two servers, like leave how you feel about it in the comments below, because obviously the aggrieved party is, you know, we should be hearing your voices. Definitely give your feedback to NetEase so they can hopefully put out a fix for this soon. But with that all out of the way, thank you all so much for watching, and as always, I will see you next time.